Hello everyone, my name is Olivia Slar, and I'm an officer at the APUS Active Minds chapter. First, I want to extend a very warm welcome to you all for joining us at our presentation on VAR. With that, let's get started. Now you might be asking yourself, what is VAR? Validate, appreciate, refer. To begin, we'll watch a video from Active Minds.
Hey, has this ever happened to you? Maybe a friend, teammate, coworker, loved one says something like, I've been having a hard time lately. I've been feeling really anxious. I'm overwhelmed. If it sounds like more than a bad day, it probably is. So, what could you do? Consider this an opening to start a conversation with your friend. Talk and listen using VAR. Validate, appreciate, refer. VAR. An easy way to let someone know it's okay to not be okay, and you are not alone.
So, what do you say when you're just not sure? This can be a complicated thing to discuss. I mean, a friend comes to you, they need your help, and what do you say? That's where VAR comes in, and this is an extremely helpful tool. But first, let's look at some of the statistics. 76% of young adults turn to a friend first when they are struggling. 61% of students do not feel prepared to help a friend who shares their struggle, and 39% of students in college experience a significant mental health issue. Mental health struggles are on the rise globally, particularly among young adults. Suicide remains the second leading cause of death among young adults, including those on college campuses nationwide. You can help. But let's also remember that mental health and mental illness does not discriminate. Suicidal thoughts, stress, and overall mental health struggles can happen to anybody. How to best show up for our friends. A conversation can be life-changing. For many, they just need to feel supported. It can be challenging though. How do you know what exactly to say when someone tells you they're stressed or having a difficult day or struggling with their mental health? VAR, or validate, appreciate, refer, empowers people to know what to say and do in those moments. The 3 steps are a helpful guide to listening and responding in a meaningful way. You can also teach other people VAR so that their conversations are also rooted in active listening skills and validation. Validation can make all the difference in the world. With that, let's start with the first step. Validate. Validate their feelings. Let them know that what they're feeling is okay and that you believe them. When someone reaches out to you, validate their feelings and acknowledge that whatever they are going through is okay. Even if you cannot relate to what they are going through, remember, this is real to them. Validation can sound like, that makes sense. That sounds difficult. You have a lot on your plate. I believe you. I hear you. What are some examples of validation you can think of? Drop them in the chat and let's go through them. The next step is appreciate. Appreciate their courage. Speaking up can be a challenging step, and let them know it's a good one. You can use this opportunity to let them know you care and that they are not alone. Appreciate can sound like, thank you for sharing. Thank you for being open with me. I'm here if you want to talk or need anything. You are not alone. It helps to know what you are going through. What are some other examples you can think of? The final step is refer. Refer them to skills and support. Let them know that help is available and refer them to the appropriate resources. Sometimes what a person needs is a listening ear and a social connection. Sometimes they will need more. And you can help to figure out what will work best for them in this moment. Notice refer is best when posed as a question. Refer can sound like, what makes you feel truly cared for? What's one thing that you would make a difference for you in this moment? Do you think it might be helpful to talk to someone? I can go with you. Do you want to make plans to go on a run together tomorrow? What are some other examples you can think of that you can use in this step? Refer, taking it a step further. In certain cases, the need for support is greater than what self-care or coping strategies can take care of. You may suggest your campus counseling center or a mental health professional and ask your friend how that would feel to them. You can even offer to go with them so that they know you are there to support them and that they are not alone. If your friend is in crisis, stay with them until they are able to connect with immediate help. You can also find some of those resources on this website. Remember that this conversation may be ongoing. Following up with the person the next day or soon is always a good idea. Refer is always in a form of a question. It is important to use this step to learn from the person what is most helpful for them. Now you might be wondering, are there things I shouldn't say or do when someone opens up to me? Yes. Be careful not to minimize or judge what they are going through, and try not to fix or solve their challenges without fully hearing them out and validating their feelings. Use caution when trying to relate what they are going through. You may not know the full context, and we are all unique and experience situations differently. You might also be wondering, I'm worried I'm going to say the wrong thing. What can I do to make sure I don't? And what if I'm not qualified to support someone who is struggling? This is totally valid. It can be intimidating to step into the arena of showing up for people in this way. VAR is all about just being there for the people around us and helping them understand that they are not alone. It's not being an expert, and a lot of time, a friendly, non-judgmental person is exactly what will help someone through the challenging moments in life. It is less about what you say and more about you being present and showing that you care. How can I ask someone to use VAR with me when I need to share something that I'm going through and want to be heard and validated? This is a great question. You deserve to be heard and validated too. Here are a few ways you can ask for what you need around communication. Hey, I have something on my mind. Is it okay if I just vent for a minute? I don't really need advice or anything. I just need to get it off my chest, and it would be super helpful if you were willing to listen. And it is always a good idea to thank them for being a listener after you finish sharing. Here's another example. You know, I really appreciate your advice and insights, but right now it would really help me if I could just share my thoughts. Would that be okay? I'd love to hear your thoughts afterwards. There are two more examples on this page that you can look at. And why don't you come up with a few examples on your own? Share them in the chat box. Now, what do you do when someone expresses that they are really struggling or that they are considering hurting themselves? This can be an extremely difficult situation. And if you know someone who is in danger of hurting themselves or others, it is important to find them the support they need as soon as possible. You can visit the website above for immediate crisis support resources. Here are a few examples. You can text a crisis text line, call the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline, go to the emergency room at a local hospital, call 911, or call campus security. There are a few do's and don'ts of VAR. Let's go through them. Do use caution when relating to the experience. You may not know the full context. The problem is, in certain cases, when people try to relate to an experience, it may seem like you're minimizing what they are going through. You must ask what you need in a conversation. Don't be afraid to ask for what you need. Seek help if you are concerned that you or someone you know is in danger of hurting themselves or others. Don't minimize or judge what they are going through. Don't try to fix or solve their challenge. This may sound like if someone's having difficulty with their work-life balance and you tell them, oh, you should just develop better time management skills. This would minimize and judge what they're going through. And while you're trying to help fix or solve their challenge, it may not come off the best or be helpful to them. Don't try to be an expert. It is enough to be present and show you care. You don't need to be an expert to help. You just need to be there. And listen to those words. They are so important, and they can really make the difference in someone's life. I want to thank you all for being here today and listening to our presentation. And I hope you take VAR out into the world and use it with your friends and teach them to use it with you.